Israel's ambassador to the UK, Sipi Hotovely, joins us now live from Tel Aviv. Thank you so much for joining us. I understand you were actually on holiday in Tel Aviv and you were there during the attack.
Yes, I came with my family and we're staying a block away from the place where the terror attack took place last night. I was actually driving the streets of Tel Aviv with my three daughters, and we couldn't just continue to our hotel because it was full of sirens coming out everywhere, and we realized there was a terror attack in the middle of Tel Aviv. Unfortunately, when those kind of things are happening, we're quite used to the idea that usually very, very fast our security forces are active. But unfortunately, last night, the terrorist, it took hours till he was captured. So 4 hours we were staying in the hotel I have a very young three daughters, and we had to stay away. Many people were terrified, running away in the streets, getting away from the bar where the place where this terrorist brutally killed young people that were, coming just to meet their friends for the weekend. This brutal attack on Israeli innocent civilians, those kind of things are coming from Palestinian incitement. This Palestinian terrorist came with cold blood and killed innocent people that never harmed anyone, people that he definitely didn't feel like are putting him in danger, but he put many people in danger last night in Israel, including two young people that lost their lives. And we are Israelis, we are shocked in the middle of Israel, 4 terror attacks, time after time, coming again from the Palestinian radicalism. And I want to tell you, as the ambassador, I'm watching the British news, and one of the things that made me shocked more than anything, there is a brutal terror attack in the middle of Israel, and the British media, some places, even the BBC, were reporting on a Palestinian that got killed without saying he's a terrorist, without using the proper name and the proper story of that. And I think those kind of things make me come here and to speak out and to say, this is a pure terrorism. The terrorist was really there in order to take lives of innocent people. And we need to condemn that together, because this is the same terror that is happening in London or Paris or Berlin. And we cannot avoid just, isolating the Israeli story. The Israeli story is part of a bigger one.
And you're still in Tel Aviv. What's the situation there now like? Is there an increased presence to reassure people?
There was a very intense and very, I would say, different night than we experienced. We couldn't leave the room through the night. But now the city is back to normal. As Israelis, we experienced many Palestinian terror attacks in the past. And I can deliver the message of my government. Israelis never surrender to terrorism. We always fight terrorism. And I'm sure that if the Palestinians want to have a better future to their children, they must stop the horrible incitement that is teaching young people to hate. And they can join the leadership that was just, last week, it was so beautiful to see all those Arab leaders coming to the south side of Israel, having this international summit, celebrating peace. This can be the future with our neighbors if they will choose stop inciting and really stop using terror as a tool, because Israelis are always strong against terrorism and always united against terrorism.
What do you think the Palestinians may deem the motivation behind these attacks?
The motivation, as always, is to deny the right of the Jewish people to have a Jewish state. You can see that. It's in the heart of Tel Aviv, it's in Beersheba, it's in Bnei Brak, it's in many cities. So it's not like they're aiming to a certain place in Israel. They're really targeting innocent people that are being blamed for just being Jews that are living in their own homeland in Israel. And I think this kind of thing should be condemned by the international community, because this is the denial of the very basic right of Jews to live in Israel. And I think that we all together should fight this radicalism that is harming the life and cutting the life of young people. And we need to see how the international community is united in saying terror is not the way. Terror is not the way to get better future to the Middle East.
And the shooting marks one of the deadliest periods in Israel since sort of 2006, I understand, and you fear more attacks are to come. What's being done to ease the situation and potentially prevent further attacks?
Well, at the moment, we are using more police in the streets to make sure people will feel safe. I was walking in the morning and, doing just the regular things we do before Friday, before Shabbat. This is where we all start our weekend as Jews and celebrate a special day in the week that's called Shabbat. And everyone could see in the streets that you can see more and more police. And people are talking about the fact they feel like it can be everywhere because the terrorist, it wasn't named a terrorist in the British media, and I think we need to name him by the name. He's a terrorist. Is a person who came with a gun and shot 10 people, and most of them were last night we weren't even sure if 10 people lost their lives because some of them were really injured in a way that there was a serious danger to their lives, and two were killed. One of them was just engaged to his beautiful girlfriend, and I could see the picture of young people smiling, and they just came to enjoy life in Tel Aviv, and this was shot by such a horrible terror attack. And we cannot justify this kind of brutal attack on civilians. And we need to make sure we be united also from this side, but not just the Israelis that are united against terrorism, but this is part of the dialogue we have with all British agencies. When we're fighting terrorism, it comes from the same radical ideology.
Reporting that it is the fourth terror attack in Israel in under 2 weeks, and we will continue to report the story. CP Hotovely, thank you so much for joining us, Israel's ambassador to the UK.
Hoping for peaceful days.